Hi guys, and welcome to Plus Size, your girl AJ Marie. Today I'm doing something new to my channel, which is a book haul from Barnes and Noble. Okay, I love books. I am reading books and loving books, so I want to do a haul and kind of tell you what books I'm going to be reading. So stay tuned to this video if you want to see what books I got. I'm choking. Okay. Can y'all see my comforters and stuff? Like, I want this to be like sophisticated, you know, because I'm doing books, but it's not working out that way. Alright, so I'm doing a book haul today of some books that I'll be reading. So in 2016, I realized that I was not reading at all. And to me, that doesn't make any sense. Like, how does a person not read? I think me personally, and I think a lot of people have gotten engulfed in electronics, social media, watching everything online, that we kind of let books go to the wayside. So in 2016, I was like, I need to get back in my book. No, it was 2017. I'm lying. 2016, I wasn't reading jack. 2017, I was like, I need to get back into my book zhuzh, and I need to start reading. I discovered BookTube, which is like just a community of people that talk about new releases and books and bookish things. And yeah, and I also started reading. I found like the Instagram of book people, which is Goodreads. It's not really like Instagram, like you don't post pictures of books, but it's like a place where they give reviews. And they also have this thing where you can create a challenge for yourself every year. So 2017, I set a goal for myself. I failed miserably. But this year, I was like, I'm going to complete the challenge. So they let you pick how many books you're going to read this year. So I picked 50 books. That is a small amount, but considering how I read and what times I read, I think 50 is reasonable. I am a person who likes to read on the train, to work, and stuff. So I was like, am I really going to read like 50 books? Like, even when I get home, sometimes I get home really late and I'm tired, so I had to gauge, you know, what times I'll be able to read best. So that's why I did 50 books. I'm joining the 50 book challenge. Woohoo, woohoo. But yeah, it's kind of got me in the mood to read more and stuff. And yeah, I think everybody should pick up some books. So I got some good ones and I want to share them with you. Maybe you'll like them. So I think I rambled long enough. Let's get into the books. So I got some books online and I got some books in store. So I'm gonna go with the older books, which is the ones that I picked up in the store. This was like during Christmas time. I got a gift card for Christmas. So I got books that were a little classy and a little trashy because I love my trash. Okay. So first I'm gonna start with the classier books, the ones that are not about nudity. Alright, so let's get into my first book, and that is One of Us Is Lying by McManus. I read about this book. I found out what it was about, and I was like, I have to read this book. This is a YA novel, and it's basically about a character named Simon. He is the owner of the gossip app at the local high school, and he is in a room with 4 other high-profile students, and he is about to drop some dirt on them. But before he can do that, he gets killed. So this book is basically who killed Simon. Okay, and I'm really excited to find out because I love mystery thriller books. If you're somebody that is reading books and people give you like proper, like, what is it called, synopsis, and you hear my synopsis and you're like, that's trash, I'm sorry, but that's how I do things here. I'll get better. But I'll read the quote in the back. An addictive, devour in one sitting thriller with so many twists and turns, you'll be wondering until the very end who really killed Simon. Okay, and that is by Karen Thompson, author of The Darkest Corners and Little Monsters. I cannot wait to read this book. Like that right there, that quote just sounded bomb. So yeah, can't wait to read it. Can't wait to read it. Can't wait to read it. And yeah, this will be one of my 50 books. Another one is The Lie She Told by Cate Holahan. I saw this book inside of the bookstore. I didn't know anything about it. I just saw the cover. I read that it was a psychological thriller, and I was like, I think I'm going to love this book. So here is the cover. I'm going to read one of the quotes in the back. Lies she told had me questioning my own sanity, biting my cuticles well into the night. The best kind of suspense writer, Holland, will keep readers slightly off balance all the way through the book. An excellent and compelling psychological read. And that was by Susan Crawford, a best-selling author of The Pocket Wife and The Other Widow. So I've read all these back here, all these reviews and quotes and stuff while I was at the bookstore, and I was like, I need to go pick this up, because if it's questioning someone's sanity, then, you know, I need to pick it up, because it might question my sanity, and it's not all there to begin with, okay? But yeah, I'm really excited to read this book. So next I got The Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. This book I actually heard on one of my bookish YouTubers faves that I follow. Like, I have like 3 people that I follow all the time, and they kind of mentioned this book, so I was like, I need to pick it up and read it. So I'm going to tell you what this book is about. In one devastating night, violin prodigy Etta Spencer loses everything she knows and loves. Thrust into an unfamiliar world by a stranger with a dangerous agenda, Etta is certain for only one thing. She has traveled not just miles, but years from home. And she inherited a legacy she knows nothing about from a family whose existence she never heard of until now. Nicholas Carter is content with his life at sea, free from the iron woods, a powerful family in the colonies, and the servitude he's known at their hands. But with the arrival of an unusual passenger on his ship comes the instant pull of past that he can't escape, and the family that won't let him go so easily. Now that the Ironwoods are searching for a stolen object of untold value, one they believe only Etta Nicholas Passenger can find. In order to protect her, he must ensure she brings it back to them, whether she wants to or not. Together, Etta and Nicholas embark on a perilous journey across centuries and continents, piecing together clues left behind the traveler who will do anything to keep the object of the Ironwood's grasp. But as they get closer to the truth of their search in the deadly game, the Ironwoods are playing treacherous forces, threatening to separate Etta not only from Nicholas, but from her path forever. You like how I try to keep it dramatic and all that stuff? But yeah. I thought this book sounded awesome, and I definitely had to pick it up and read it. So yeah. So these next 2 books I have been loving. These are actually the last 2 of the series. This is Marked in Flesh, which is book 4, and this is book 5, which is Etched in Bone. I really love this series. Like, it has a really cute, like, fun, flirty chemistry between a girl named Megan and a guy named Simon, who is also a wolf. It's basically like humans versus others. The humans basically feel like they should have everything that the others have and more. They should actually be the dominant species, when in this series the dominant species is the others. There is a girl named Megan who is Cassandra Sangu. I hope I'm pronouncing that right, but she is basically able to cut herself and be able to see the future. And it's really interesting because the last 3 books, they got in some really dangerous situations with the humans. They have other characters that I like a vampire named Nyx, who I wish they just make this book into a movie because they would be banging. Nyx is a vampire. They have Tess, who's this unknown like being that could basically kill you with a stare. Like, it just has some really interesting characters. It has a really good storyline. It's like fun fantasy, but at the same time it's like adultish, but I guess that's what a YA book is. These are also young adult books. And you know, if you're interested, like, I would suggest you going on Barnes & Noble and actually checking out what the book is about, because I'm terrible at explaining things, but I love talking about books. So I really love this series. I'm actually reading this one along with another book, which I'll show you, but I'm reading this one on the train. I have it on my Kindle on my phone. You know, you got the Kindle app, but I also wanted to pick up the copy because I have the other three. I wanted to just have the whole set with me on my bookshelf. I have a bookshelf and I'm really proud of it, so I want to keep filling it with books. Alright, so now it's time for a little bit of trash. Okay, a little bit of trash. Like, a lot of people that read books consider these type of books like trashy, and I get it, but like me, I like a little trash. I like a little, you know, zhuzh in my books. I like a little more. So I picked up some Zane books, and if you're a reader or not a reader, you know Zane is the queen of erotic fiction. Okay, so I got me some books from her because she's just, you know, she's the truth, and I had to read it. So my first Zane book is Afterburn. This is the one that I'm currently reading now. I will try my best to read this so you can see what it's about. So, tall, strong, sexy chiropractor Yarly Brown has long since accrued interest in Washington, D.C. bank employee Rain Waters. With her clear gray eyes, luscious curves, and legs for days, a woman like that must be taken, but a man can dream, can he? Little does Yarly know that Rain is single as they come. In fact, after barely surviving a date disaster with her hairdresser's brother, in the falling for a chaste member of her church band, she's on the verge of giving up. That is until Yarly, discouraged by his own slew of dead-end romances, finally works up the courage to ask her out. But between Rain's erratic mother, Yarly's playboy friends, and the old flames who just never seem to lose heat, Rain and Yarly dodge a lot of bullets on their way to true love, weaving the cardinal and comical in true Zane fashion. Afterburn is a timeless story about the ups and downs of the dating game with the unforgettable ending that will blow you away. So, reading that, also reading people's reviews, like this was one of the top reviewed books from Zane. That's how I picked the ones that I wanted to read. I was like, I need to get into this. Now, if you don't know about Zane, Zane is very detailed when it comes to sexual things, sexual encounters. You might hear, you know, some suggestive language. Okay, and it says right here, hot sex comes to those who wait. Hello. So, I mean, you know, it is a little trashy, but I like it. You know what I'm saying? The next book I got is Nervous. This was also a highly rated book. She's a good girl with a really naughty streak. So, I wanted to read this one as well. So, I'm going to read the back of this. Men have always given Jacqueline, that's a doozy of a name, sweaty palms and trembling knees, but her promiscuity alter ego Jude never has any trouble satisfying her carnal desires. All too often, Jacqueline wakes up in strange clothes with strange smells, and sometimes she even soars in strange places. Oh my god. But she doesn't have a clue as to what kind of scintillating, I got it, escapades Jude indulged in the night before. Scared and desperate for help, Jacqueline turns to Dr. Marcel Spencer, the psychiatrist, who first appeared in Zane's best novel, Addicted, which Addicted was a movie, and it was a really good movie. I can't think of the actress, but she was married and she slept with like 3 different people because she had like 3 different alter egos, and it was a really good movie. So that was a book that turned into a movie. and Jude relates with a sexual rampage. As Jacqueline falls for her handsome and charming new neighbor and tries to piece back together a relationship with her parents, Jude decides to take control. She's not about to let the good girl ruin her fun. Okay, and this is based on a short story from Zane's classic erotic collection, The Sex Chronicles. Sex Chronicles was hugely popular, especially back in the day. I know y'all probably heard the Sex Chronicles. If you didn't, it was like big. So, nervous will make you sweat. So when something like that happens, like when somebody says that, you're like, oh yeah, I need to read this book. I definitely need to read this book. And I definitely will tell you how it went. Okay. If it made me sweat. So the last Zane book I got, I'm done with the trash. Well, no I'm not, but I lied that fast. So this is Zane, Shame on It All, and it's about 3 sisters. And for anyone who has ever observed the behavior of a close friend or family member and suppressed the urge to scream, "Shame on you," out loud, Shame on It All is that novel for you. Harmony, Bryce, and Lucinda Whitfield are sisters in every sense of the word. They argue and get on each other's nerves, but when it comes down to the wire, they are extremely protective of one another. Shame on It All follows their adventures, their friendships, their love lives, and their outlooks on life in today's society. Jam-packed with unpredictable, unbelievable, and just downright crazy situations with a few surprising twists thrown in for good measure. Shame on It All is as wild as they come. So, again, this was a top-rated book. I think I went on either Barnes & Nobles or Goodreads to read reviews. I think this one, Barnes & Nobles, and these were the top-rated books for Zane novels. So, that's why I got them. And I'm looking forward to reading Shame on It All. If you read any of these books without giving it away, just tell me if it was a yay or a nay for you. Like, tell me, girl, you is gonna like that, or girl, no. Even though everybody's taste is different, so I probably still like it, even though you don't like it. But still, let me know. And last but not least, I believe this will be trash as well. They compared this book to 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, they actually said that this series was better than 50 Shades of Grey. Okay, and I'm a personal lover of Christian Grey in the novel, because the movie, no, that's not my Christian. But anyway, the novel I really love. I have the whole series. I read all the books, so I was like, I do want something, you know, along the lines of that. I like a little aggressive, controlling man, a little bit. Okay, so this says, like, right on the book, he possessed me and he obsessed me. Okay, so this is Bared to You by Sylvia Day. I'm going to read you the back here. He was beautiful, brilliant, jagged, and white hot. I was drawn to him as I never been to anything or anyone in my life. I craved his touch like a drug. Even knowing it would weaken me, I was flawed and damaged, and he opened those cracks in me so easily. Pun not intended. Gideon knew he had demons of his own, and we would become the mirrors that reflected each other's most private wounds and desires. The bonds of his love transformed me, even as I prayed that the torment of our past didn't tear us apart. So, this guy Gideon does sound like Christian, but the difference is she also has like a messed up past. So I'm really excited to see how these two, you know, clash or not, you know. So I really wanted to see this book. I feel like every person needs a little romance in their life, even if it gets like real nitty gritty, like Zane, or like I'm hoping Sylvia Day does. But I never read none of her books, so this is my first time reading one of her books. So I can't wait to read it. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so my camera died before I could do an outro. That was fantastic. But that does it for me this week. I hope you enjoyed this video. I had fun, even though I can't talk and I gave you really bad descriptions of the book. But I will keep you updated on them all. So I still hope you liked this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not, hit that notification bell if you don't, because I'll be doing videos every Friday. And thank you so much for viewing. And if you comment, thank you for your comment. And yeah, I'm out. Peace. Love you guys.